So this is a quick video to accompany this chunking tool on how you can use it to identify different markets for your product or for your service. And basically it's going to just give you some questions and help you to, it's all about using your brain. This tool doesn't do any of the thinking for you, sadly. But I think it's worth showing you because we find it really useful, and I think that anyone else would as well. So the first thing you want to do is enter something, it could be your product, it could be your audience, target audience, it could be anything really, an object that you see around to help you kind of brainstorm. So I'm going to enter something that we can all relate to, which is a pen, and we can take it from there really. So we have a pen. And then we've got the choices now to chunk up or to chunk down. Now by chunking up, we're finding kind of like broader categories, more wider scope than the pen. And chunking down, we're going more specific. So let's start with chunking up. It's usually a little bit easier, and it'll ask you the question, what is pen an example of? Now for me, I would say stationery. And I put stationery in there to save you watching me. And straight away we can chunk up again. And it'll again ask us another question. So we press return. What is the purpose of stationery? Now for me, that's definitely writing, because that's what I mainly use pens or pencils for. So again, I can go up, chunk up again. Now what is the purpose of writing? Again, this is relate to every different person. You might love collecting pens, it might be something completely different. But for me, it's certainly communication. Whether it's communication, with the written word or to communicate to other people. So from this chunking up exercise, we can see straight away that we've opened up a couple of different groupings that we could potentially target with content, especially if we found that there wasn't really community around pens. Now there may be, and certainly we can look at that, and this might be not a great example of that, but it might be that you've already looked at that community and you want to look at higher threshold communities. And it's very powerful to think the writing community especially is something that if we can engage with, just from gut instinct, I imagine this is a community that's massive, very highly engaged, and would be open to content. So already you can see the value of the chunking up exercise. Now we're going to chunk down, and this can be a little bit kind of weird depending on how specific your first point is, and I'll show you that in the second example. But let's do it now for pen. So I'm going to give an example of a pen. Cool. So I've put whiteboard pen because that's a pen that I use fairly regularly. Now it wants to, the question is going to be, can it give you a specific type of whiteboard pen? Okay, so I'm gonna give one now. Now I have a favorite brand which is Artline. They're the whiteboard pens that I like to use. Now so I'm thinking that's a more specific type. And finally I've got a last question which is a variation of the Artline whiteboard pen. Okay, so I've chosen the red Artline whiteboard pen. It's my favorite color, what can I say? And again, then we've entered and we've managed to get a full kind of grouping. Now, chunking down can be too specific because most people's issues will often be that they're too, they maybe you're Artline and you sell whiteboard pens and you think, right, I'm just going to target the Artline whiteboard pen community. And probably most of us listening to the video know that probably doesn't exist. So the usefulness for them is really to kind of keep chunking up and get to other areas like pens, stationery, writing, communication, because they're wider communities with active people within there. But it can be that you are targeting too general as well. You might say, well, we might have a client that says, look, I want to target everyone. I don't really mind. I want to go viral. And actually with that, the chunking down tool is very useful because it's kind of saying, well, what do you mean? You want to target everyone, but do you really? And we can find specific groupings as well. Okay, so thanks for watching this very basic video, and I'll probably produce some more videos that I think might be useful to you, but feel free to just have a play with it and get back to me with your feedback.